Hey everybody, we are back from vacation and my audio is loud. Oh god, look at that. Going bald. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Alright, let's turn this guy down so I got my mod up. Oh man, it's hot. It's hot in here. It's hot outside. It's hot everywhere. We will. I need to actually do my monetization stuff still, so that none of that stuff is up yet. I don't think subscriptions are live yet. I'm gonna do that sometime this week, probably this weekend. So FYI, that will be. Yeah, FYI, the ads will be coming at some point, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I will make my ads as friendly as possible. Yeah. Hopefully my internet decides that, hopefully my internet decides to play nice today and doesn't want to just drop everything on me like it seems to have been doing the last few times. I broke your internet. See, I definitely know that there was something when you said that I was dropping frames though. It was definitely something on my end too. Like there, I was dropping frames. So that was just a coincidence then. All right, let's figure out why my socials command is like not. Yeah, I don't know why that isn't automatically doing the thing. The interval at which this time will be triggered if there have been 2 or more chat lines in the last 5 minutes. Okay, that's probably... Okay, I understand. So if there's not enough people in chat, then it just doesn't trigger. That makes sense. Anyway, Zero, do you like my my money making schemes? Fighting with a modem router for a bit, got ready for work, and the 2 Spectrum trucks are parked at the end of the road. Dude, so I've got Astound, and they will randomly decide to just show up to my house and mess with the box outside and take my internet down for like an hour, and they literally do not even like let me know what's happening, which is really frustrating considering I work from home and I've gotten kicked from calls before. But yeah, that's how you make money in game dev. It's 2 routes. Game gets popular, you copy that game and you sell it for cheaper, or you copy that game and you release it for this one only works on mobile. You copy that game, you throw it on the app store for free and put full of ads. Kids will play it. I don't remember where I was at last week before I went on vacation round 2. Vacation 2 Electric Boogaloo this month in June, because it was had both things happening in June this year, which was an experience. All right, so we got okay, so I remember this. Where we left off was I've got these tabs now locked out. So you can only have, you have to buy the upgrades to get more tabs. So then now if I go in here and I go to the assets again, come on. Oh, get rid of the search. I think in stats. If I change this to like 7, save that off. I should have 7 tabs in here now. Look at that, I got 7 tabs. Cool. I'm going to set this back to the 3 that you start with by default. Hey, door indicator. How's it going? Oh, door indicator. Good news. I apparently hit affiliate. I haven't set any of that stuff up yet, so there's no subscriptions or channel or like, because like you have to be affiliate too to do like the little channel points things to get rewards and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I got affiliate, so I can set up all that stuff now, which is cool. I'll make like a couple pennies a month now. But yeah, let's close that out. So that was the... Oh, I thought I had more to do with that. I didn't really have anything else planned today because I thought I was going to be working on that. Oh, Deridicator, I realized last time you were here and we were talking about math things. I realized I think, oh, I know what it is. When I was doing... See if I can find it. I don't know where that No, you were like, when I was working out how to convert my rate of fire from like the actual number, like 700 rounds per minute to the timer, you were like, and I was like, did that crazy equation and stuff. I think you had said something that it didn't register at the time how it worked or what you're trying to do. And then when I realized when I was writing out the math by hand, yeah, when I was writing out by hand, all of a sudden and like simplifying it, I got down to a part where I was like, oh wait, that's what the indicator said like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, somewhere in here, it might be in the item description. Something like that, yeah. Weapon rate of fire. So the rate of fire, I believe, is the... Let's look up a number or a weapon. So yeah, in the items now, I have it listed as the number that I understand, which is, 600 rounds per minute. So then that means in the weapon component... When I set up the... Yeah, I set up the rate of fire. It's just 60 divided by the rate of fire of the weapon. Because I had it all written out and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I had like something... It was like something divided by another fraction. And I totally forgot in the moment that when you have divided by a fraction, you can multiply by the reciprocal. And it just turned into this nice little equation right here. I was like... That's what the indicator was trying to say that I didn't understand through text. I swear I know math. It's just easier when I write that shit down. Yeah, it's not on you. It's hard to, especially when you're talking math, it's hard to convey that information through through text sometimes. So yeah, when I was physically writing it out and then simplified it and yeah, but when I was writing it out and simplified it down and everything, and then I got to that point, I was like, oh, right, that's a thing I can do. But yeah, that's a thing that happened. So let's see. Is there anything else I need to do like visually over here? I don't think so. Because these are in the right spot, and then they get hidden if it's not the right... It gets hidden if it's a place that doesn't have stash tabs. It gets shown if it If it gets shown if I do have stash tabs, and then the window automatically bumps over. So, like, yeah, if I go into like a lootable right here, you'll see it's shorter, no buttons. But then if I go into this guy, it's wider, has buttons. Cool. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, something that was weird, but cool. So that's the inventory. What do you mean that's intentional that the grid is offset? Are you talking on this screen? If you're talking here, where it's offset like that, on this screen, is that the case? Yes, it's completely intentional that it's offset here, because like I said, if you go into the game, it turns off whether you have the stash tabs or not. So like if I go into this screen, there's no stash tabs, but this is the exact same screen that you're looking at when you're in here. So it was easier to have, I just chose to have the route that if I have the tabs, I make it bigger than if I don't have the tabs, I make it smaller. Because then I don't have to cache the size of the thing or anything. I can literally just go size plus 100. I don't have to do, I guess I could do size minus 100 or whatever. I just chose size plus the number if the tabs. But yeah, these are the same window. So like in here, it makes the entire window bigger when you have these tabs. And if you go somewhere else, it shrinks it down a little bit and those tabs aren't visible anymore. Oh, wait. Are you saying like the fact that they're physically not touching this grid? Like, are you wanting these boxes to... I mean, it's the same thing. I just have the number hard coded is all. Because if you go into the loot menu, it's literally right... Yeah, it's right here. When I open the menu, it just checks if I have tabs and does some things. Otherwise, it doesn't do those things. But shoot, I don't know what I don't know what I want to work on today now. Oh, I lost something. Wait a second. Where do I have code repetition? Yeah. If it has the tabs, it sets up all this stuff. Otherwise, it sets it to... Otherwise, it turns off the game objects. Oh, yeah, I could. I don't think that's the case, though. Technically, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. Because actually, here's the problem. Is if... Let me take this through, actually. The problem is, is if I have the stash tabs, I'm turning these off and then I'm turning them back on. Versus if I have it in the else, I'm... If has tabs, true. Stash set active, true. I don't follow what you're saying there. How you're typing that out. I think this is more of just a fail safe in case stuff gets because I was original because these things are off by default anyway. But I've had a couple instances where the state's kind of gotten messed up behind the scenes when I'm switching through menus. I don't know why. Haven't figured that out. You're not wrong. But because what I'm getting is, so basically what I'm getting at is these are off by default. So technically, I think they're off by default. Let me double check that before I even start talking up my ass. Oh, not that one. Oh, no, I do have them on and active. Yeah, it's written dumb. Oh, I understand what you mean now. No, that is completely valid. No, yeah, you're totally right. That's what you're trying to say. And yes, that's actually a nicer way to write that. Yeah, I totally see what you mean. It's that streamer blindness. You know how it is. There's also, you got to remember too, I think there's a lot of times there's instances where we're expected to at work we write code a certain way, and how we write code or how I write code at work kind of transfers over into other stuff. And if I were at work, it would 100% have to be like how our coding conventions at work are. I'd 100% have to write it the other way. Why they want to do that way, I could not give you an answer, but that's legitimately why I wrote it that way. It's just because it's habit. But you are 100% right. In this instance, this does not matter which order these guys run in. But yeah, it honestly too, it's one of those things where that's like when people talk about over optimizing like and stuff when it comes to like grading games, and people are like, oh, don't optimize too early, blah, blah, stuff like that. That's kind of the level of stuff we're talking about, where in the grand scheme of things, whether I had the if or like this or the way I had written, it honestly does not matter. And I think that's an instance of why, like probably why at work we have it the other way, because it's very much if we have tabs, all this stuff is done. If they don't have tabs, this other stuff is done, because it's more clear of here and here for the readability at work kind of thing. But like I said, I know how to justify it at work. I don't know why that's the way they do it. Plus, I'll also never claim that I have the best written code in the world either anyway. I'm very much a... I'm very much for clean code, but I'm also very much I just write it to get it done. At the end of the day, who cares? But yeah, no, I do like it this way better though. I don't even know where that code went. I already lost it. that. But no, I agree with you. I personally, I like this more. Okay, so I don't know what I want to work on now. I totally thought I had more to do with this. I don't have anything else planned. Why is this getting filtered? It's because it's a lootable. The menu is for lootable. Some if I'm understanding, it did. I don't see anything. Send me on Discord what you were trying to say, and I might be able, because I don't know. The only word I know that I have filtered is viewer. Anything beyond that, I don't know unless I see it. I mean, you can DM me if you want. DM the lethal injection account though. Yeah, if you DM the lethal injection one, that one's open. That one should be open. If it's not open, I gotta fix it. God damn it. It's gotta be the message is in chat. Oh wait, well, I guess the message doesn't matter. I'm gonna start planning optimized from the start, or the optimization will bite in the back later stages. Is once I work on my engine and probably this 20% recode. Basically everything more optimized. This feels like a Twitch one. Is because AutoMod is through Twitch itself, isn't it? Because I don't know what's wrong with that. Ah, shoot. Where's the streaming tools? Nope, that's not it. I don't even remember where this is. Oh, moderation. I genuinely do not know why. Oh, you know what? I bet you it was I bet you it's because you said bite you. I that's the only thing that I could imagine looking at the auto mod like stuff. Oh well, no, that went through. Okay, never mind. I genuinely have no idea what you said that got filtered. Because like my filtering is like minimum. I really don't care Yeah, it's like as long as people aren't being like egregiously bad in chat, I really don't care. Like I have no, like, it's not a family, like I'm not gonna ever claim that I have a child friendly stream and everything like that. I think I even have the thing set to say that. So like the filtering is just like non-existent. The only thing I have specifically set to filter out is the word viewer, and that's just to get bots. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what got that. That's weird. All right, let's put that back down. But yeah, so anyway, so what you were saying before, though, I guess I can't. Oh shit, I closed it now as I to respond to your message. It's weird. Like, there's a certain like point where like I think I know what does and doesn't need to be like optimized, and this just really comes from experience. And like, yeah, it is also too just coming from working in the real world for like, God, I don't know how many years at this point, where like when I was in college and fresh out of college and like my first programming job, I very much was like, this has to be done the absolute right way, most optimal way all the time. And then I got into the real world and started working for a few years and realized what the actual reality is I just need to get this done. So often it's just get it done, which is not saying that's the best way to do things, but that's just how it ends up being sometimes. But there's a difference. If you're working on, you know, like a personal project, like, yeah, definitely be as like, you know, optimal as possible. But like when I'm at work, it's like my job doesn't necessarily care like how my job doesn't care if I did it the most optimal way, unless I did it in like a horrendously unoptimal way. They only care that I'm getting shit done. And sometimes I don't have time to do it the proper, like the absolute best way. I've only got time to do it a way. All right, let's get back on track here. So, ooh, I wonder if my other account, I say let's get back on track, and I want to check something. Yeah, no, even my moderator account doesn't, no. Weird. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, most of the time when I put code, like when I push in code, there's definitely, I mean, we've admitted there's ways to make like some calls that we've done, that like some API calls that we have. There's ways to make them faster, but none of our, but if nobody's complaining about how slow it is, that means it's fast enough. So we don't put resources into making them faster until somebody complains. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, but the thing is this is the menu. This isn't even the inventory itself. This is the menu. So there's only ever going to be one instance of this menu open at a time. And it's when I open the menu, I pass in the player and I pass in the whatever object I interacted with it. And then in there, it checks if it has like tabs or not. So like, yeah, like this is literally only the menu. There'll be only ever one instance of this thing open ever. Yeah. It's, I mean, if you look at my code base, there is a very, very obvious, like, if you look at my code without even playing the game, you could probably tell what stuff the optimization matters on and what stuff the optimization doesn't matter on. Because if I know the optimization matters, the code is written really well, or in my opinion, pretty well. And on the stuff that where it doesn't matter, my code gets pretty awful because I just get it working. Like, I mean, look at my stash tab controller, for example. Isn't that amazing? Actually, I don't even know why that's there. That probably was something Copilot threw in. Actually, I can tell you why this code's written this way that it is. Because what I did is I literally wrote this menu, or I wrote this variable, and I asked Copilot to make the other 9. Then I wrote one variable and I asked Copilot to write the other 9. Then I wrote my one if statement and I asked Copilot to write the other 9. Is that I 100% can make this smaller, because even when Copilot wrote this, I was like, man, that's really bad. And then you know what I did? I didn't care. I'm gonna change this though, because that was a little dumb. But yeah, no, this code right here, like I said, atrocious, terrible. Doesn't matter. It took me, I started writing it a better way, and it was taking me longer to fix it than it took for me to just write it that way, because of and that goes on to a topic that we were talking about in Chris's Discord today about AI. It was, I had AI write that for me. It's functional. Is it good? No. But yeah, no, I know I could 100% like stash tab controller. Literally all I need to do is put this in a for loop, and then I just grab that index and then I use that to like concatenate on to things and stuff, and it's, yeah, I could do it. This was late in the stream, okay? I was tired. I was getting ready to go on vacation. Copilot wrote it. So if you're going to be mad, blame Copilot. Don't blame me. Oh, God, this is like doubled. Holy crap. Okay. There, that's better. God, this is such a bad piece. This is so bad. This is so bad. Let's stop looking at it. Don't judge me. Zerath, back me up. Tell me my code's pretty. Tell Dur Indicator he doesn't know what he's talking about, and that this right here is peak developer. I promise you, I don't write code like that at work. I would actually, our tech lead probably would drive to my house in California from Ohio just to slap me if I put code like that in at work. All right, what do I want to work on now? Because was not ready for this to actually be. I thought I had stuff to do today, and I don't have stuff to do today. There's got to be more I need to do on this. You know, procrastination time. Let's fix it. I don't remember how to fix this offhand. is 4. Int I equals 1. I less than or equal to number tabs unlocked. Plus plus. Drop that in there. Or I guess the other thing is I put all these into a list and I just loop through the list. Oh, that's why I did it this way. Okay, there was actually a legitimate way to do this because I could not remember at the time, and like I said, I was just trying to get it done. If I have over here, I meant to research this, and then I never did. So I've got all these tabs in here, and I was not certain that if I did get all components and children and look for this menu component button and make like a list, I didn't know if these would actually return in the same order every single time. Do you know that answer? I guess it doesn't hurt to try. No Dorindicator regex is evil, and if you know how to do it, you're a witch. And I don't trust you. We don't use regex around here. Hey, Candonian, we are... I am trying to convince Dorindicator here that this code is totally a peak professional, well-written code, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can't tell me otherwise. What was sort of this conversation is we were talking about like levels of optimization and how like if you look at my code, the stuff that optimization matters, like you could see the code is written better in other places where I don't care about optimization. The code's not written quite as nice. And then I just pulled up this atrocity to show to Dorindicator because I knew it would make him cringe. Because this is genuinely like bad code. And I'm just procrastinating something new, so now we're actually doing optimization that doesn't matter. Because what I could do is I could literally just do list menu button tabs equals that, not that. Get components and children of menu button. Yeah, basically what I did here, when I wrote this code, because I was just trying to get it like, I was just trying to get the system working so I could test things. And yeah, literally what I did was like I wrote this line of code and then said, hey, Copilot, can you write the other 9? And then I wrote this line of code and I was like, hey, Copilot, can you write the other 9? And then I wrote this line of code and I said, hey, Copilot, can you write the other 9? See, that's the thing, Dorindicator. Nobody knows regex. Everybody knows how to Google regex. And then there's like 5 people on the planet that actually know regex. And they're not human, and I don't trust them. Get components and children. Oh, this creates an array. That's right. Okay, so let's do not a toString. Let's do a toList. That is missing link. And then I can literally just do for each var, or that works. Except this has to be menu button, so I know the See, I just Google it. If anybody ever came to me and was like, oh, hang on. It's my on-call week at work. So while I'm not working, I'm off work. I have my work computer still going so I can keep an eye on the alarms in case something goes wrong. Because if I have to go, if something goes wrong, I have to go deal with that. No. In all seriousness, like all jokes aside, regex really isn't too bad. There was a point in my life where I did kind of know regex and I could write like basic regex to do things. But it's been so long that like I've forgotten most of it. What are you doing? There. I'm honestly kind of surprised. Like, what kind of crazy regex were you trying to do that ChatGPT couldn't do? Because I'm actually kind of surprised that ChatGPT struggled with regex. Because honestly, in the last like 5 times I've had to do regex in like the last like couple years, I've just used ChatGPT for it, and it's done it for me. It's weird. I don't even know anything about Perl. Yeah, but regex exists in every language. I don't understand why it wanted to use Perl. Couldn't you just tell it to do a different language? Int counter equals, so then... I guess. So what I'm gonna do here is it's gonna be stash tab plus counter plus dot JSON. And then I also need to send it the counter for the... Counter -1, that's right. I was thinking about the way I wanted to do it. That works. What are you upset about? Obviously, at the end of this, I need to do counter ++. Cannot... Oh, duh. Whoa. Oh, that's why. Thanks, Copilot, for breaking my shit. You know what, Dorindicator, get out of here with your logic. You wanted me to fix it, I'm fixing it. Now why are you not happy? Did you get filtered? Shh. Oh, God damn it. You're right. That's why. That's why. And then in here, I'm going to do tab dot. And then I also got to do tab dot set image to tab spray. See, you do realize, indicator, I'm cleaning this up for you, but I'm intentionally not doing it exactly the way you want me to do it, just to annoy you. Let's get rid of all that garbage. Make sure I didn't accidentally break anything. So Kendonian, this is what I think I've said this already. This is what I call I don't want to start working on something new right now. So we're procrastinating. I broke it. Oh, I super broke it. It's not even giving me errors. What did I do? What did I do? Yes, I do. Look, if I get rid of... Yeah, because you had the tab counter and tab and different. It should be fine, though, because what am I even doing with this index? I don't even remember. Oh, this is sending it. It's... Yeah. I'm getting all the tabs before reaching through of them. Oh. I had the wrong bool in there. That's why. It is the code because it auto-completed that for me, okay? I just didn't double-check it. Anyway, I should do my spiel. Kendonian, welcome to the stream. What brings you here? You a game developer? You software engineer at all? You did that thing? Go ahead and do that thing. Convenient timing. Normally, we're not this unhinged. Anyway, what we're working on here is a project called Zomclave. It is a 2D. Thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. Just followed. It is a 2D extraction shooter that takes place in a post-apocalyptic zombie world. So think of your games like Escape from Tarkov or Zero Sievert or my new favorite freaking game ever that I can't wait for it to fully come out called Escape from Duckov, which is a top-down extraction shooter where you're a duck. But those kind of games. But the whole lore behind it and all that fun shenanigans is it's a we're a post-apocalyptic zombie world. Takes place in kind of a Cold War era. And it's kind of a Cold War went hot, but instead of nuclear weapons, they went like chemical warfare route and created zombies, all that fun stuff. So you go out in the world, do things, complete missions, loot gear, come back, sell your crap, get money, rinse and repeat, that kind of stuff. But there's a whole bunch of different factions out in the world that all exist as like independent factions. There's a reputation system that goes along with it. So, and they'll fight with each other. So you could have an instance where you walk up to like a heavily armored like military encampment, right? And they're getting swarmed by zombies, and you can just literally stand there and watch and let them just duke it out, and then go in and clean up afterwards. Because as I said, all the factions are all independent. They've got reputations with each other. Some of them will fight each other. Some of them are buddies with each other. You can increase your reputation with them so they don't fight you or they kill you on sight. We have where we stand right now. We got the inventory system that we're working on right now. I just got done adding stash tabs, which is what you've watched me proceed to break. It was working until Dorindicator complained about my clearly, obviously perfect code. And a couple other things we got going on. If I could interact, please. Inventory system is a full like drag and drop Tetris system. If you, I don't have a weapon on me. Like I grabbed that guy, that works. All the weapons in the game are completely customizable, so you can take all these parts off. You can put them back. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought I saw something weird, but you can completely customize your gun with different attachments and all that fun stuff. There's loads of different types of ammo in the game. Like if I go talk or interact with this one first, I mean, you can see right here, there's tons of different ammo already. We got this schmuck over here who doesn't really do anything yet, but there's technically a vendor system. I just haven't built a vendor yet. What ammo does this shoot? 5.56 by 45. Do I have any in here? I don't know my own ammo yet. Let's grab something that I can shoot. 9x18, I think I saw those. 9x19. 9x19. 9x19s. All right, I'm going to grab these 9x19s, I guess. I'm going to go grab a different pistol. That shoots 5.7. That shoots 9x19. So let's take that gun in. Sorry for your ears. This is going to be really loud because I don't know what the audio is set to for the guns right now. And yeah, you come out here and there's people. I hope. I don't know if I have that turned on. Oh yeah, see, there's zombies. Oh my god, that's loud. I'm sorry. What audio is that? Why does it sound like a freaking cannon? You can also see I can change there we go. That broke something. But yeah, so you can run around in the world. You can kill guys. I'm not going to spend forever hunting down like people to shoot back at me and hunt. But you gather stuff, do quests, and you just extract, and you'll head back to the Enclave. That's the extent of the game. That's all I have that I can show off right now. The core loop of the game is pretty much done. Most of it is just content. There's a couple systems I still got to do. But yeah, that's it. We're kind of, a lot of the stuff is stuff that I don't want to do on stream. Like the quest system is kind of like complex to build. So I've been working on that off stream because it's a lot of times me sitting there going, I don't know. It just doesn't seem entertaining to watch me work on that. Audio, I have to do off stream because I tried to do that on stream and that just didn't go well at all. So most of the time that I do on stream is like work on small new features I got to work on, fix bugs on stream, or I do art. That's something I could do today is art. I know why this doesn't work right. I gotta put all this stuff in an if. If if counter is greater than or equal to tabs unlocked grab all that crap, put that in there, put that in there. Now that'll work right. This I want to figure out what was going on. 474 in the weapon component. Oh, while we're waiting for that to load. Printing. Oh, wait. Control comma, not control P. Yeah, this has got to be. I realize I should do, it's either way, I got to do some. Yeah, either way, I got to do some form of +1 or -1 since because this is the index. I mean, technically I could write it to where the index is 1. It starts at 1 instead of 0, but yeah. I'm not going to that level. Like, I'm not going to fix that. That's just going to stay the way that it is. But I do like that I'm cleaning. Like, I do kind of like prefer that this isn't just some obnoxiously long. So this should only be 3 tabs. That's the opposite. It's because I need to do less than, not greater than. Yeah, because, okay, it has to be less than because I have tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Exactly. That's the point I'm getting at, is I'd either have to do, I'd have to do a counter +1 here, counter -1 here, or I have to completely change what's happening in the invoke on the menu. And in the menu, the invoke is... It's taking its position and multiplying it by 100 to move that highlighter up and down. No, it doesn't. If the counter is inside of it, it's only going to get triggered when the tabs are unlocked. And then if I get to the point where it doesn't go in here, it's not going to trigger. And it's going to... I mean, yeah, but... It doesn't matter. Why is that? What's going to happen, honestly, is once this is done anyway, I'm just going to... So, yeah, the counter should be in it, because once this isn't true, I'm just going to break out of the for each anyway. I think you can... Because you can exit a for each early, I'm pretty sure. So, counter is less than or equal to tabs unlocked. You get 10 tabs. And you know why I know that you're never going to have more than 10 tabs? Because that's all that fits on the screen. And you know why I picked 10 tabs? Because there's 10 rows. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can exit. Or I'm pretty sure break works on a for each as well. I don't know why it wouldn't. I've never done it. Nope, not doing that. It's a fixed size. These grids are this big. The grid is this big, therefore there's this many tabs because the grid was this big. Because it lines up and looks nice. No. I've used breaks. I've just never I feel like I've never really had a reason to break out of for eaches a lot. Because I'd say, like, because remember, I work in business management software. Most of the time that I'm using for eaches, I'm like for eaching through a ton of like work orders or something like that and doing stuff to those work orders. There's never really, like, I'm just processing like data and stuff like that. There's never really been an instance where I've had to break out of a for each. I've broken out of loops before and stuff, but like, yeah, that's why I didn't know offhand. I was pretty confident that I could do it. You do not need breaks. You work all the time, 8 hours, 24 hours a day, no breaks, no sleep, no nothing. Okay, so I don't know if I didn't save. That's why that didn't work. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. We're golden. So how long have I been working on this? It's been a while. I started, let's pull up the old GitHub. So there's definitely like a story behind this game. I'm not on the right account. Yeah, I'm a .NET developer at work. Oh, I want to sign out of that. Sign in with a different account. There we go. Now we're on the right one. So I made the first push to this game on the plugin that I haven't put back into my the project yet. Actually, no. I think it's in here. Oh yeah, it is in here. It's right here. Yes, if you want to Derindicator actually he didn't write the entirety of this plugin, but he did a lot of modifications to the plugin for me because there was a really neat tool in Godot that didn't exist in that kind of existed in Unity but didn't work the way that I wanted it to work. And Derindicator was gracious enough to use his time fixing this thing so I could focus on working on other things at the time. And I very much appreciate it. So yes, back to here on... So on December 23rd of 2023, I started working on this game, and it was in Godot. This game started out on Godot. I did, and it does work. I just didn't, when I put it in, when I got my new computer and had to reset it up, because it wasn't, I don't have it in source control. I put the wrong one into the project and I haven't changed it. But yeah, so this game started in December 2023. And it was in Godot. The project actually technically started in, when was it? When did Unity decide to do the thing with the monetization? Because what happened was, oh yeah, Zeroth call Matt changing engines. So originally this game was going to be in Unity. Unity was like my main engine. It's the engine I've used the longest. And I had been working on a different project that was in Unreal. And I decided I kind of quit working on the project. The scope of the game was a little bit beyond. Yeah, it was when they did the runtime fee thing. But so the project I was working on, I didn't really work on it more. The scope was getting kind of out of hand. It was getting a little obnoxious. It was a 3D game. The 3D modeling was getting a little obnoxious. I was trying to do a voxel game, and making characters kind of sucked. And I don't know. The game wasn't. Yeah, it was about this time because, like I said, I started the first commit was in Q4 of December 2023. So this means this probably happened like about October. So like I said, so I quit working on that game to say it wasn't going in a good direction. Didn't like working on it. I said screw this and started working on this game. And it was a 2D game, so I was like, all right, not going to work in Unreal. I've gone down that path before. 2D and Unreal, I don't like working in that environment. So I was like, we'll go back to Unity and we're going to call it a day. Started this project in Unity, and the runtime fee thing happened. And I was like, I'm angry, just like everyone else was angry. So instead of starting the project, I spent like a couple months learning Godot, and I made this game in Godot. Worked on it for, I'd say, what, a solid year or so. Zero indicator. Do you remember offhands? At this point, I could probably find. That's in Zomclave. That's extraction game. Okay, so it looks like September 18th looks like was the last time I put a commit into the extraction game, which was the repo when it was under Godot. And then it looks like September 24th. Oh no, September 24th I did also in there. So 25th. Oh, okay, cool. October 2nd. Okay, so it's somewhere in here because on October 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th. Okay, so it looks like somewhere between September, like late September and early October is when I switched over to back to Unity. And basically the reason why I switched back to Unity was I liked Godot. Godot's cool. I always recommend Godot to people. But I personally was running into issues with Godot. There's some design features of Godot that I'm not a huge fan of, but I was able to forgive those. But I was running into a lot of bugs with the engine itself. And then there were certain limitations that were getting in my way, like lack of interfaces, lack of other things. So long story short, there was just issues that I personally had with Godot on this project that I switched back to Unity. Funny enough, the timing of my going back to Unity just so happened to coincide with the... See, a good developer can work in any engine anyway. And work in any language. The language doesn't matter. Like when I'm working in Unreal, I work in C++. Like I know C++, I know Unity, I know Godot now. I don't like Godot as a language. That was the other thing too. But like I know Java, I know all these languages, so it's whatever. Unity does work out though, since I am a .NET dev. It's what I do all day anyway. It's definitely my best language. But what I was saying was my switch to Unity just so happened to coincide with the... I don't even know how to describe it. When Godot did the thing about the... I don't remember what it was. Somebody complained about Godot going woke or something like that. I don't know. And then they like banned a guy because of it. And then it started this whole political thing or whatever. I don't even remember the details for it. It was super dumb, super pointless. But it just so happened to... So there was a lot of jokes at the time that it was that like I hated, like, I think it was an LGBT thing. I think it was. That's what it was related to. So it was this joke that I didn't like LGBTQ people because I switched to Unity like literally right before that happened. Because I think it was, I distinctly remember this. I started working in Unity again and started porting it over on a Wednesday. And I started working on a Wednesday and spent like 2 or 3 days refamiliarizing my engine, made the repo, got stuff got stuff like, you know, working and everything. And it was going to be the following Monday on stream that I had announced that I was switching to Unity. So I had this whole thing set up that I was like, all right, I was like, on Monday, I'm going to announce I'm moving to Unity. I'm going to get all this stuff done. Like, I had a ton of the game ported over to Unity that I was going to show off on Monday. And then that happened that weekend, and it was really awkward. And to Candonian's point, the timing was phenomenal. And honestly, Candonian, I don't know how much experience you have in the professional field, but this is just my opinion, having dealt with this and, you know, professionally as myself too. We don't really care about specialism. There's if you know how to code, you've worked in games, really? That's cool. But everywhere I've worked, we like literally have not cared, because we just care if you know how to code. We've had guys that on my team right now, actually, we've had guys that we just hired a dude that was like a 20-year Java developer and had never written a lick of like C#. And like his whole, like the coding tests and all that stuff or whatever, he did all that stuff in Java. It was cool and everything and stuff like that. And I mean, he knew how to code, like, and so it was like, yeah, whatever. You know, we hired him on and he learned C#. But granted, Java and C# are so similar anyway, like syntax wise. But you definitely have a few years of experience over me. I definitely do not have 26 years of, I don't even have 26 years of experience, period. I'm only 30. You've been writing code about as long as I've been alive. I've got like 10 years at best. I wouldn't even call it a good 10 years. But you've worked in games. That's really cool. I've been killing myself trying to get a job in the game industry, even though I know it's probably a dumb move and my regular software job is the much better route to go. Because I know for a fact that I make way more money in my software job than I would make in game dev. What's a big one to understand? The amount of money you make? I know there's money to be made in... I know there's money that you can make in game dev, but as a whole, from everywhere I've seen, the vast majority of jobs that I've had come across my way that I've like applied for and interviewed for and all this stuff, a large majority of them have made like a fraction of the money, like half the money I make right now. Oh yeah, obviously when you get to senior level, period, you're making good. Plus I think it's a lot harder in game dev too, because I feel like the level, like I feel like just in the general space of software engineering, it seems like no matter where I work or where you go and stuff like that, the pay always seems to be relatively like the same, versus game dev, it's all over the place. I've applied for some, or like I've interviewed for some game studios that were like, we'll pay you 30, 40 grand a year, which doesn't work for me living outside of Sacramento, San Francisco. And I've seen all the way up to jobs paying like, hundreds, $100,000 and everything too. So like it definitely, I won't say that you can't make money, because I know you can make money, but in general, from what I've seen, I'm more likely to make the money, or even be similar. Oh, Air Code 47, was that the printer one? So it's been rough, like trying to find applying for game dev jobs is terrible in the first place. Man, I'm clipping. Oh, my mic is clipping. Let me turn that down just a smidge. Probably because I keep going back and forth with my mic. But it's like, do you got any advice for getting a game dev job? I mean, shoot. Because that's honestly, because the thing is too, it's like I make great money. Like, I'm not going to complain about the money I make. Actually, I am complaining about the money I make, but it's for different reasons. It's more of don't get paid as much as the full stack developer on our team, even though, and I perform as I do full stack work. But that's a whole different I'm a back-end engineer, but I'm doing full stack, and I don't make as much money as the full stack guy. But that's a whole different thing. But like, I just don't like my job. I honestly got into software because I wanted to get into game dev, not realizing, you know, how incredibly hard it is to get into. And it's like, I just can't get anywhere. I can't. Granted, I've been applying for just different jobs, period, and I can't get anywhere that right now because the job market sucks. But like, the game I'm working on right now is like my main big project right now. This is the one I'm planning to release commercially, blah, and all that stuff. But like a lot of stuff I do on the side too is I work on a lot of smaller. I've been trying to work on a lot of smaller games to do like proof of concept stuff, just to have like a portfolio that I can show. But yeah, it's like, what do I need? Because I mean, the problem is, on the one hand, I don't believe I'm probably better than I give myself credit for, but I feel like I have a confidence issue where I feel like I'm not nearly as good at coding as I should be. But like, so yeah, I definitely have struggled with that. But it's just even talking to people is so hard sometimes. What am I looking at here? Man, I've gotten so derailed. It's only 3:30. We got plenty of time. I also realized my stream is not a good representation of my ability to code either, because it's so hard to stream and code at the same time. I've written things on stream and then have come back and worked on it later that night off stream and looked at it going, what was I doing? I'm like, God, I look like an idiot. Oh, Christ. Let's not have that gun equipped, because that was super, super loud. I don't want to accidentally shoot again. I need to sort out the audio. Okay, so I got those tabs. If I go into here and let's get my data again. If I change this to like 7, does it still work? Just double check. Oh, well, I didn't save and quit, so that means my gun is still equipped. Get that off. Cool, that works. Okay, so let's get rid of all this nonsense. And then, okay, so back to what the indicator, as I was talking earlier, where I got this counter and then this counter -1 thing. I think I kind of just have to... I think I just kind of have to leave that as is. It's not hurting anything. Oh yeah, I'm gonna catch up on chat here. Once you're done with your university degree, you plan on working 1 or 2 years to get a small budget and then go make my own company. You have a business plan already more prepared, as well as oh, quit. The Nightbot moved the chat on me. Oh, I can't scroll on my chat thing inside OBS. Hang on, I gotta pull up actual Twitch chat. Okay, so you plan on working in 1 year to get a small budget and go make your own company, business plan, and more already prepared as a financial plan. Premature one is on an initial project for the company, as well as my own project will be the mainstream of the company. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't do that. I got a job and then I spend my free time making video games and have failed at making any money in like the last 5 years I've been doing this. Granted, the reason why is because I always had these grand ideas for these games that were well out of scope for an individual to make. Honestly, even the game I'm making right now probably was... It's probably more I gotten better at coding. And that's probably why, because like honestly 5 years ago I would have quit this game forever ago because it was so big. Let's see, so you're doing that, and then let's see, Condoning asked if you had a pitch deck, their indicator business plan, so a small budget of 3 to 4. I'm gonna say dollars, or if I say dollars I mean euros. I can 3 to 4K euro. That includes 700 euro to Brent. So actually, the current price about 4 months income for the company, meaning depending on what I save up for, business plan supports easily a year of no income. Yeah, that's the honestly. I'm doing a terrible job at doing like the business side of all this stuff, but I haven't really had a need to really do it. Because even like as Kandonian saw earlier when I popped in, I think I've said about 15,000 times on stream that I need to make like my elevator pitch for my game, and I never do. So every time I have a new person in stream, I like fumble over it because I mean, I guess I've kind of gotten one because I've done it a bunch of times, but I want to have like a formal one that I can tell people check down below so I don't have to ramble it off every single time. But it's like, I mean, geez, even I was saying earlier, I just got affiliate like 2 weeks ago. I haven't even set any of that stuff up yet because it's boring. I don't want to do the lazy business crap. Wait, there's a game called Elevator Action. Am I going to regret looking this up? Oh, it's that's not what I was expecting. This is an old game. Is it just a shooter? Okay, yeah, so it's a shooter game. I need to make stuff like this more. Z-Race, remember when I did minigame Mondays and I made like tiny little games? I need to bring that back. Screw that vibe coding. Like honestly, as much fun as the vibe coding thing that we've talked about would be, I feel like I should go back to like the minigame thing. And just make dumb little games like that. Because that would be such an easy way to pad a portfolio. Just like, here's a whole ton of games I've made. But like, granted, something like Elevator Action, I don't know is enough to like impress like a AAA studio. But that's the thing too, is like, yeah, like it's that dopamine hit of completing the game. The only thing that gets me through this game is like lately has been like some of those victories that get me with that dopamine hit where I keep working on it. But because I haven't had I've completed the game dopamine hit yet because I haven't finished it yet. Let's see. During Decay is still going on about the thing. And yeah, that's a little stuff. See, okay. So my only advice to Indicator is, it's great to have that plan, and I think I had that grand plan too, but then what happened was life happened. It's hard. Like, I mean, it's genuinely hard to do this every day, alongside work. You know, it's like every day I get up, like, but this is literally what my day looks like on an average day. Is I get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, whenever my wife gets up. I get up and then I come in here and I start working on my game for a couple hours, until about 6, 7 o'clock. Actually, yeah, I get up at 4, work for 2 hours, start work at 6 a.m. because I work at 6 a.m. so that way I can get off at 2. And then on the days that I stream, I can start at 2. The days I don't stream, I usually don't start work till like 7 or 8. Just because I don't, but I still, because I don't have to stream, so I just work later in the day and it's fine. But like, so and then I work more in the mornings too than on my game. But it's like, yeah, so I get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, work on this game for, a couple hours, start work all day, get off work, either come here and stream for you guys and work on it here, or I'm working on it my own. And then, until my wife gets home, I make dinner, hang out with her. And then we go to bed, which is I have one of 3 things happen. Either A, I go to bed with her, B, I play video games, or C, I go back to work. Most of the time it's playing video games or going to bed. It's hard to go back to work. But like, it's exhausting. It's really exhausting to keep the motivation up to work on this every day. And then on top of that, it's like, life is expensive. My student loans kill me. I suddenly realized, like, I don't have nearly as much money as you would think you would have. But granted, the problem is like I mean, I've openly admitted on stream, like I make 6 figures a year. I make a smidge over 100K, but I live in California. So like that, me making 100K a year doesn't go that far, because I got like my house that's super expensive, and gas out here is expensive. And like, yeah, I did. And like, yeah, I have my Challenger. Like, I've got my fancy sports car. I could find areas to save money, cause my car. And then I've got like hobbies. I play Warhammer, and that costs a lot of money and stuff like. So there's definitely like places I could cut, and stuff like that. But it's still like the money thing's tight. And yeah, I agree with Candonian too. It's because this is the same advice that I gave Chris when he released his game. When Chris released Soot. I think him releasing his game for 99 cents hurt him more than it helped. Because I feel like there's this thing where people see like a 99-cent game, and they see that 99 cents and go, the player, or they think that there's like the psychology where the developer thinks that the player thinks that the developer thinks the game's not worth a lot of money. So it's super, super cheap at the 99 cents. But then the problem is the game still costs 99 cents, so people aren't necessarily going to want to buy it. I genuinely believe that Chris should have released Soot at like $4.99. Because I feel like $4.99 would have looked better to players, and he might have gotten more. He would have made more money naturally because the game was selling for 5 times more than what he was selling for it now. But I feel like he would have gotten more sales because I feel like there wouldn't have been that like wall of like the value there, which is kind of what Candonian's talking about, where if you're pitching for less than like 100K, where for investors 100K is really not that much much money. I feel like less than 100K is the same thing, where they're not going to take it entirely serious or don't think it's like worth it because you don't value it all that high, versus if you come to them and you're thinking your company's worth $500,000, 100 to $1 million or something like that, then you got their attention because you believe in your product and you believe that there's some value to it, and it's a number that catches their eyes because company with a lot of value means a lot of money. But yeah, it's like I genuinely think that's the same kind of realm as what I was saying there with Chris, and we're selling his game for 99 cents, where there's that weird like mental thing of making something too cheap. And Candonian, I plan on visiting Scotland at some point. My sister lives in the UK. My parents have gone out there a bunch of times to go visit her. And every time they do, I'm always jealous because they go around England. They've been up to Scotland. They go to Ireland a lot. They've been to Wales a lot. Like, and all this stuff that's out there it's just crazy and it's cool. And I love it. I'm also a history buff. Medieval period is kind of one of my hot spots that I really like. And the UK and the British Isles and all that stuff's kind of a good spot for that. I would love to go to Scotland. Anyway, off that tangent again. Now that I've wasted another, actually not bad. That was only like 10-minute tangent. All right, dear indicators. Anything else you? Oh yeah. Seattle's, yeah. So I have now I'm going back on a tangent. I have the benefit of I live in the Bay Area, right? But I actually like literally like mileage wise, not even considering the fact that it takes forever to drive to San Francisco because of the traffic and stuff, but like literal mileage wise, I live closer to Sacramento. But the county I live in is a Bay Area county. So my work, how they calculate our pay and everything is about like cost of living of like the area and stuff like that. And since I'm a Bay Area county, my work pays me Bay Area pay. So if I lived even one town over towards Sacramento, I think I would make so much less money. But the benefit is too is I'm so far from San Francisco that I'm getting the benefits of like the Bay Area pay, but I'm not like getting super, super screwed by like Bay Area cost of living. Oh yeah, I forgot. Durinicators in like Germany, and it's like 2 in the morning for him or something crazy. I don't remember what are you, 8 hours ahead of me, I think? No. 9 hours? Something like that. Yeah, you would think I would know the conversion to Scotland better because since my sister lives in London and I talk to her all the time and I have to be conscious of the time zones. $9 hours. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If Yeah, if Candonian says it's midnight for him, that makes sense. It's yeah, I would have expected it was 9 for Germany. Man, I got so many international. Like, that's the weird thing about this. I got so many people that are like international. Granted, it doesn't even make sense too, because I was like, maybe it's because of when I time. Because I'm aware that I stream at like a weird time. To where like nobody in my time zone can really watch me outside of watching me at work because it's so early. And even on the East Coast, I start streaming when people are like just getting off work. But then like all the other people, yeah, and then all the other people that watch me that are like international, it's like midnight for them right now. But yeah, Candoni, he's working on a game engine. That's kind of cool, like really cool. I don't envy him. It's something that I've dabbled with before, but game engines, that's a whole, I don't have a need for my own game engine, so I haven't worked on it. And annoyingly, I view working on at least right now for me, working on a game engine would be unproductive because all the time that I'm putting towards a game engine is time that I could put towards this. And honestly, all the time that I spend streaming, I could not stream and be more productive. But that's the kind of the downside of streaming is you're less productive. I look at streaming as more of like a marketing kind of like endeavor than I do like actual productivity. And I also, the fact that I'm getting so distracted actually like means a lot to me because that means I actually have people in here like watching and engaging with me and stuff like that. And it's nice. Because remember when I first started streaming and like nobody was here and it was kind of disheartening sometimes. But yep, see you around, Dur Indicator. Always appreciate you hanging out. All right, so how much more do I want to mess with this stupid menu before I finally move on to something more productive with my time? Honestly, I just don't feel like being productive right now. I just got back from vacation yesterday. And like getting through the workday sucked today. I almost didn't stream today and I was like, nah, I need to stream. All right. Let's push this. This is good enough. It's functional. And at least in a visually okay state. Add stash tabs. I'm just going to go ahead and make a new branch here. Bring my changes over. Let's go ahead and push this stuff into main. And then let's... No worries, man. Added stash tab. Oh. Publish that. Let's merge this in the main, and then I'm gonna look at that bug that error that popped up when I was doing ammo changes earlier. And I might go grab a snack here quick too. Cool. So that is merged in. Let's go to main, pulled all the new stuff in. Cool. And I'll be right back. I'm back. What's funny, as I realized, when I was in the kitchen, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I remembered not turning off my camera and doing like the be right back thing. I was like, crap, I can't use that bathroom because my camera can see directly in the bathroom. If I turn my light on, you would see the mirror right there and you would just see me in the mirror going to the bathroom. So I had to use the bathroom in my bedroom. Because I didn't feel like coming in here just to do that, just to use that bathroom. You guys got to pay extra for that content. All right, let's see what happened here when I changed the ammo. I tried to stream the kick. My internet could only handle 2. So I got Twitch and YouTube. When I added kick, it couldn't do it. All right. I don't know where that air came from earlier. Maybe if it's in here specifically, that's gonna be really weird. It is in here. Okay, what's 474? Okay, why is it like that? The hell? I don't understand. Am I handling input in here? Probably, which is why I don't want to, why I hate doing that, but I probably threw it in there just to get working. What game are you working on again? I really gotta fix this input. My crackers are gone. What is calling this bad boy? I'm gonna go over my other bag of crackers. Just brought the whole ass box in here. So when that's empty, they're gone. That's weird. That's calling it a ton of times. I'm like, clearly it's working. Five, 5, 12, 14, 14. Five, 5, 15, 14. Oh, wait, it's. I don't understand. Okay, so 474. That exists. Where is it looping? It's only hitting that one time. Wait, how do you get back in there? Oh, I have Texas. No. I don't understand. The overhead text is right there. Oh, I want to make a Zero. I had a game idea. I want to make a jousting game, like just a small, like simple jousting game. I don't know how to make it like fun. I'm gonna do like a 2D, like run across, and then they do a thing. But I don't. I got everything up until the point that like actually matters. No, but yes. I never understood joust, because like the dude's, first off, isn't the dude's riding like an emu or like a ostrich or some shit? And you like run around on like because joust is basically like a weird like version of just like the Mario game, not like, you know, not the platformer Mario game, but the one Mario game where you have like you got like all the turtles, they come through the pipes on the sides, and there's like a floor. Is the game just called Mario Brothers? There's like the floor, and then there's like two platforms, one platform in the middle, and then like two platforms up on the top. And there's like a POW block on the top and the middle on those gaps. And you were supposed to... Is it just Mario Bros? Is that the difference? Is that really it? Holy shit. Oh my god. I never actually put two and two together, or never really thought about why the game is called Super Mario Brothers. Holy shit. But yeah, this game, I had this game. Oh, that's a tiny picture. Because if I remember right, in Joust, you had like a velocity. So when your guy got like moving, you like kept moving, didn't you? And you like, and it like, it was like Mario Bros too, where like if you went off the screen on the one side, you popped out on the other side. So like you could get your guy like really moving fast. And then if I remember, like the lava like moved up too as like time went on. It's been a long time since I played this game. I get copyrighted if I just pull this. Burger King's in serious trouble? Oh, let's mute the ads. I'm only not coding because I'm snacking right now, so we're guys are gonna... Once I'm done snacking, I'll sit back up. We'll write some... Well, I guess we're gonna be leaving here in a minute anyway. This game is so weird. Yeah, I want to make like a medieval jousting game. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to really approach that. Now, what I don't understand is why this is looping 15 times. So got the character. Does overhead text exist on character? It does. I don't understand why this is getting called multiple times. It's also like when it works too is a problem. I know why. Who in chat knows why? I'll give you $0 whole dollars if you can tell me why this doesn't throw errors in the hideout. Unfortunately, Dorinicator I know is gone. I think our new friend is gone too, since it was like midnight for them. Here's the problem. I have input being taken in this script. There's multiple NPCs in this level that have this script. Since I don't have the input on the player telling the weapon component to do it, I have the weapon component itself checking for input, which means every single character or I guess every single weapon component in the scene is all firing that method at the same time. None of those characters have the overhead text box, which is why it's coming back as null, which is why it's still working for me, because it's running for me just fine, but I'm running it on all the weapon components with the one button press because I'm taking the input on the weapon component, not from the player, which is dumb. So this isn't me throwing in air. This is every single NPC with a weapon component thrown in the air. And if I come back over here, we continue this. Let's get rid of these breakpoints. Continue. I'm going to clear. And I'm going to change ammo. We got 14 airs. Zombies don't have weapon components. The guys in here do have weapon components. And I would wager that I bet I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 enemies that I'm trying to make everybody change that ammo. That's why that's not working. And it's the code's fault, not my fault. It's always the code's fault. I can do nothing wrong. I let my computer go to sleep. We're good over there. So what I need to do is change ammo to be public. So then I can take this bit of code, this dumb thing I'm doing in here, I have to move all of the, oh no. Why did I put all of this in here? All of this stuff has to get pulled out into my input manager. I need to make a proper input class or an input controller on the player. So I have all this shit in one spot. That could be, actually, that might be what we do on, what is today? Say Tuesday or Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Okay. Stream tomorrow. We're going to clean up code. We're going to say, we're going to make a proper input controller and we're going to move everything out of the player. I've been saying I need to do this for a long time. We're going to make a proper input controller because we also need to have one of the things that I need to have right away is rebindable keys. That's something that I think that should be in my MVP is rebindable keys because people are going to expect that. And this is bothering me and this is going to cause issues. So I'm just going to change it now. People are really, really picky about rebindable keys. And I think that's just something that should be in right away. And it's really not that hard to do. So let's pull that out. Let's go back to the player. And instead of doing that right now, we're going to go just add on to the atrocities that I'm doing in here. I'm going to slap that bad boy in here. Weapon component.change. And then I have active weapon, right? Yes, it is just weapon. So weapon component.weapon. We're going to do that. Now, I'm going to wager that when I go and change ammo in the level now, I'm not going to get 14 errors. I had the debugger running. Wait, why? Normally I can leave that running. I don't know what it is. Okay, either way, we're gonna load in the level. Look at that, no errors. That would explain why it wasn't looping ever. It was just all 15 of them were being called. Because now what's happening here is if I do like, I bet you if I hit like 1 and 2, I'm actually surprised that doesn't throw any errors. I guess maybe I have some code in place that keeps that from breaking. But then also V works on everybody else. So I think the only change I made on here was to that. So let's, what time is it? 4. Yeah, 45 minutes. I'm gonna keep these. I'm gonna keep going to 5 now. I really gotta push that because let's see, 5. End at 5. Gives me like 15 minutes to feed the cats, vacuum quick, and go check the mail. And I got my butt in my simulator by 5:15, which would give me about 45 minutes to practice on iRacing, which is also a hobby of mine, is iRacing. I probably have mentioned that before. I need to practice because I've never done this track in this car before. I haven't done this track in a long time either. Well, here, but yeah, so we got 45 minutes. Let's get going. So we go scripts. Components. I'm going to create a mono behavior script, and we're going to call this input component. Problem is, a lot of these I don't want to make public. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Input component. So the input component is going to be locked to the player. So we definitely need a player. Start is going to go player equals get component player, because I'm just going to attach this to the player script. I'm going to have to, I'll figure out remapping later. No, I don't need any of that. If input dot Let's start with the one that we just changed. Let's get one working. Player dot. I think I have access to the weapon component. There we go. So now we can pull this out of the... We already did. And I'm dropping frames. Where did this come from? Oh, my internet is